Welcome back to Yogaxpress, your virtual stretch clinic that helps you move the body to restore the mind. My name is Radan Sturm. I'm your host for this program. To my right, we have Radan Sturm. Radan is a personal trainer. He is Director of Training and Development at Complete Body and Spa. Radan also has a website, and Radan has been with us in the last 2 episodes, guiding us through the physical benefits of some of our stretches from a very simple sequence that I like to call 48 plus. They're just a basic flowing sequence of 48 simple low impact stretches that target 32 major muscle groups, glands and organs to address 8 common ailments. So if you want to come stretch with us on the mat right here, you could meet experts like Radan. You can get simple explanations for very basic stretches. Radan, welcome back to the show.
Thank you.
We loved the last couple of episodes. I especially enjoyed it, and I'm sure our participants are benefiting a lot from your explanations. Here's what I was thinking, and let me know if we're on the right track. I was hoping you could help us understand the body better through some prone and supine stretches, so on our belly and on our back. Not necessarily in terms of workouts at the gym. If you have gym moves for those stretches, by all means, please bring it to our attention. But also, if you can just help us understand what muscle groups we're working, what are the safe ways of doing some of those, because sometimes we do take liberties. On this show as well, we do take liberties with our body.
And we forget as well. We constantly need to be reminded.
That's right.
It's not often you can tell somebody once and then they remember.
That's true, and that's why we have these. It's reinforcement. We have these explanations that guests and experts like yourself share with us, so that people will remember when they go home. You know, and our program is more like a, Josiane, we lost the monitor. Thank you. Our program is more like a prep school for people to join regular yoga schools. Yeah. So if we get explanations from experts like yourself,
so no answer is too stupid.
Absolutely. You're covering yourself already. And for those of you who want to stay in touch with Radan, his details are at the bottom left corner on the screen. Email him, go to his blog. In fact, you said you started a new blog.
Yeah, it's a couple of months old. Yeah.
A couple of months.
Yeah, and it's really basic, which is what people need.
Well, so, tell me again, what's it called?
It's called radansturm.com.
Yeah.
But it's the simple truth about health and fitness.
I like that, the simple truth about health and fitness.
That's it.
So common truths that people don't really give a second thought to and don't realize how important it is to understand.
Well, there's a lot of misinformation out there as well. So people think they know what they're talking about.
Right.
And people who are trying to sell products make it overly complicated. So you're confused, and then you buy this, and why am I not losing weight? And
it's not working for me.
It's not working. Is it me? Yeah. It's not that difficult. It's simple.
Okay. Well, life is simple. It's we who make it complicated, right? So we need to follow the animal kingdom. The animals and plants, I mean, especially animals, everything is so simple. It's either their basic body needs, they're hungry, they go eat. It's human beings with the brain that makes us complicate things.
Absolutely.
Right?
All we need is affection.
All we need is to take our brains out for a few moments every day and then be very
Well, that's what we do, isn't it? In your subtitle, it's
moving the body to still the mind, not to remove the brain. Oh, wow. Now I'm
moving
worried.
the body to remove the brain.
Not to remove the brain. No. Moving the body to still the mind. So what happens, and I'm glad you brought that up, because what happens, despite the funny side of things, what happens is when we satisfy our body, the body's urge to move, it actually calms the mind. In fact, the longer we sit still, when people meditate, for example, the ones who can meditate the longest and deepest, I think, in my experiences, I've known a few people who meditate, are the ones who already do a lot of physical movement, because they are able to still their minds for a longer time. And that's why we have that subtitle.
And that's one of the reasons that yoga came about, wasn't it?
I'm sure it was.
In order to get into the
meditative state, yes, to introvert. That's right. So the physical part is just a conduit, just a means to get to the real state.
And I mean, that's the interesting about yoga, is that it is actually one of the few exercise forms that makes you think about the exercise.
Right, exactly.
Whereas in a gym environment or jogging,
you're just waiting to get off.
You are. It's a distraction thing. So you're running, you're trying to get off the treadmill as quick as you can.
Right.
And here we're thinking
TV
about
and
the
stuff,
exercise.
right? You have.
Yeah, you've got television, you've got your iPod.
Get on the treadmill, and then you have to listen, because we need. I mean, when you get on the, I think I've been to the gym a few times. I'm not really
Lately?
a gym person, no. Well, actually, yeah, in the last couple of months, maybe a couple of times on the treadmill. I'm not really a gym person, but I find when I go to the gym, and I don't mean to put it down, I'm sure it works for a lot of folks, but for me, I'm so used to doing the yoga thing that I need to think about it. When I think about the workout that I'm doing at the gym, it makes me tired.
Yeah, and it should give you energy.
It should give, exactly.
That's the thing.
That's what I'm trying to say. Yeah, it should make me feel energized, but I feel tired. So what happens, I get discouraged easily.
And also the environments in a lot of gyms are not really that
Too many
nice.
people. Okay.
You know, there's a lot of people, it's noisy.
Right.
It's really not an environment you want to be
Tell
in.
me something.
For
When
long-term.
you're now a director of training at not a gym, but it's a studio, right?
Well, we kind of have a studio feel, so
right.
You know, it's more personal. Everybody knows everybody's name.
Okay.
You know, so it makes a difference.
So not too much equipment. You have more personalized
that's
interaction.
Right. And I think that's what brings people.
Right.
Equipment is not going to get somebody motivated to exercise.
It's just the one-on-one. Yeah. That's true. You have all these special programs for them.
Yeah, absolutely. Everything. Lots of yoga as well, Banu.
Lots of yoga.
Yeah. You'll experience it one day.
Yeah, I'm sure. I would love to come and go stake out your place, go there and attend some of the classes. I know you've had a teacher for quite some time, even after the new studio management took over.
Mm-hmm.
I've attended her classes before.
Great.
And yeah, I like what you offer at your studio. So folks out there, you want to meet Radan in person, you can either meet him right here in the studios, come stretch with us here. You get to meet experts like Radan, get a one-on-one feel, or you can go to his studio. So Complete Body and Spa, go to their website, completebody.com. Josiane Hurd, our director, thank you so much for hanging in there and putting up with us. And Joe Montevilla, thank you so much for assisting Josiane. We really appreciate the great teamwork. Thanks also to Richard Swanson for the studio lights and the setups and the sound system. Talking about sound, opening music from the first track of a CD called Sapta Tandavam, and the body music, which you hear in just a moment, that is by Cesar Dipara, created just for Yogaxpress. Radan, we'll do some prone and supine. So let's come, all of you out there who are stretching with us, remember Yogaxpress airs Monday through Friday on Time Warner 57, RCN 84, Fios 35 at 1:30 in the afternoon. If you don't receive us on these channels, go to mnn.org, which is where we tape these episodes. Manhattan Neighborhood Network is where we tape the episodes. And just look us up on, I think it's MNN3. So just type in Yogaxpress, you'll find us there. All right, here's what we're going to do. We're going to get into a posture. We're going to glide out into a posture called Ashtanga Namaskara. Before we do that, because while we are holding that posture, it's a little hard to explain because I'm struggling through and talk at the same time. But Ashtanga literally means 8 limbs. So Ashta is 8, Anga is limbs, and Ashtanga Namaskara is salutation. 8 limb salutation. So basically it's 8 body parts that make contact with the ground. So we start with the chin, chest, the 2 hands, the knees, and the feet. So your toes are curled in, chin is to the ground, hands directly below the shoulders. And this is where I need your help with your explanation, Radan. I basically will go through the basics. What we're going to do is we're going to glide our toes closer to our knees, glide our knees closer to the chest, and peel our buttocks off of the floor. Now, Radan, help me understand, what is a safe way? Which muscle group should I engage to bring my buttock off? Chin is on the floor.
I think it's more just a matter of not lifting your buttocks up too high.
Okay.
So it's safe as long as your hips aren't going too high off the ground.
What if I just have a big butt? That's okay, right? So are we engaging the abdominal muscles at all here?
You can,
Will it help?
but you might find it quite difficult to do that in this position.
Okay, not a good idea then.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's just not too high is safe.
Okay, so just glide out, so hold it right there. And then very gently ease off, so uncurl your toes, press with your palms, and come up into cobra. Cobra is also called bhujang. Bhujang literally means cobra. And now you can press with your palms and you can press with the tops of your feet. Inhale, come up all the way. Now you can also go all the way right up there. This is what you call the upward dog, right? And the upward dog, I think you curl your toes in and lift your knees off the floor. But we're going to keep our knees on the floor, uncurl your toes, and you can come up all the way. This is full cobra, king cobra. And here, I want you to offer some explanation. You talked last time about not bringing the shoulders out.
That is
right?
a big thing.
So,
depending on your flexibility and your strength, your shoulders will probably come up towards your ears.
Right.
So you don't want to extend up too high so you can keep your shoulders back.
Okay.
So if that means you need to come down to the ground a little bit more,
I do.
then bring your shoulders back, then that's okay.
That helps.
It's also okay to do it on your forearms, is it? For those people that really...
But am I getting a workout?
I still think you're still getting a workout. You're still getting a stretch into the back.
I'm comfortable. I can stay here all day.
But, you want to be able to do an exercise at every level.
Yes.
So from a basic level like this up to a more advanced level like this.
Right.
Because in this position, there's a lot of pressure on the lower back also.
So how would I keep my back safe?
Either by not coming up as high.
Right.
Or when you do come up, squeezing your buttocks again.
But that's what I want to know. Okay,
and
fine.
keeping the shoulders back.
So if I come up all the way, I can keep my back safe by tightening my buttock muscles.
It helps.
It helps.
But sometimes it's just too much for your back at this time, which means you just need to ease off a little bit with the height.
Okay, so let's come down slowly.
It's all about progressing an exercise through.
That's true, not to rush into the final posture right away. Now, keep your chin on the floor, keep your toes uncurled. Before we get into the next posture, which is salab or locust, let's make a fist with our palms. So tuck your thumbs into your palm, curl your fingers over your thumb. So you made a little fist.
We're going to fight, are we?
No, not yet. We're right now, we're in the trenches. So Radan and I are going to have a little boxing match. Here's what you're going to do. You're going to tuck your fist into the pelvic region, because we have, for women, we have the pelvic bone. For guys, you have some padding as well. So you want to make sure you don't hurt yourself in the pelvic region. Also, the other little trick, the advantage is you could use your fist, because we have a chin to the ground. You're going to use your fist as well as your low back, and it may be the low back or the buttocks. Once we get in, let me know if I'm doing the safe thing. You're going to lift your knees off of the floor as you inhale, and using your fist to push your thighs up. That helps you hold your legs up there. Now, Radan, help me understand. Now, is it safe to use the buttock muscles to tighten and then lift? We're going to inhale and lift.
Are we lifting the feet up?
Yes, from the knees.
Definitely using your buttocks in this position, 100%.
Okay.
If not, you're using predominantly your lower back.
So it's okay to use the low back. Okay, that's
your lower
good.
back's going to get used regardless.
Okay.
But if you bring your buttocks into play, it'll help. Because otherwise your lower back's doing quite a lot of lifting here.
Right. And this is where we use the fist as well. So I'm using my fist to hold me up, but also I'm trying to engage my buttock muscles and the low back. Exhale and release. Now chin needs to be on the floor because I need to have my voice go over the mic. I had to lift my chin up a little bit so I could feel a little bit of a strain on the neck, but the chin needs to rest on the floor.
Looking down.
Yeah, that's right.
It keeps your spine in line.
But keeping the chin down, right? You're right.
Essentially, you can look at... The other thing you can do is look at your belly button.
Where's the belly from?
Well, try and look at your belly button. Rather than throwing your head up in this position, you try and look at your belly button.
Well, we actually keep the chin. We don't put the forehead to the ground. In yoga, we're guided to keep the chin on the floor in this particular posture. But there are postures. A cobra is one of the few prone positions where you start with the forehead on the ground.
Can I take my hands out from under me?
Yes, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Now, bring your arms out in front of you. Extend your arms out. Uncurl your fists. I'm sorry, Radan. That was thoughtless. Now, place your palms, open up your palms, face your palms are facing each other. The tops of your feet are pressed firmly on the ground. Chin is to the floor. Now, once again, this is a back strengthener. We are going to inhale, lift our chin, chest, knees, and feet off of the floor. Just the pelvic region stays down. How high you go is not as important as how comfortable you feel just going up. So inhale and lift. All right, Radan, come on.
Oh, the arms as well?
Yeah.
Ah, wow.
So, this is helping strengthen our back. I'm assuming that all of us are going to use our buttock muscles, but also the low back, right?
Very much the back. Especially the higher you bring the arms,
Right.
the more you'll get into the back.
So if
And if you're finding it difficult to straighten your arms out, it's okay to move your arms out.
Okay,
a little
still
bit,
getting
it
the
allows
same
you to
workout.
straighten the elbows out.
Okay.
Just like this.
Wow. Exhale and release. Now, is there any muscle group that I can use to get my legs higher?
Your buttocks.
That's what's
That's it.
holding the whole body.
And I think if you feel like you're pushing the front of your hip
Right.
into the ground,
Right, the pelvic region.
you're pushing it into the ground, it gives you a little bit more lift.
It does.
It also,
Let's try that.
that's the movement you have to imagine in order for your buttocks to engage.
Okay.
So a lot of people will be going, what do they keep talking about
Right,
buttocks
right.
engaging? I don't feel anything.
Right.
So if you imagine pushing the front of your hip into the ground,
Right.
they will be engaging. You might not feel it, but it'll definitely
Let's
work.
try that. With that explanation, I think I need to try it one more time. I never thought of pushing the pelvis to the ground, so let's try that.
Yeah, it's a glute activation just by pushing the hips forward.
So push your pelvis to the ground, tighten your buttocks, inhale, and lift. You know, you're right.
And even once you've lifted, keep pushing the front of the pelvis into the floor.
Oh, okay.
And
That's
see, it
bringing
gives you
my
more
upper
height.
body up. Right.
Brings your upper body
right.
up and activates your glutes.
Exhale and release. Now, with your right hand, reach for the right ankle. Left hand reaches for the left ankle. And once again, if you're comfortable, if all of you are comfortable doing this, bring your knees closer together. If you're a little tired today or you're not very comfortable bringing your knees in because it's too much pressure on your the front of your thighs, you can keep your knees apart. I'm going to try and bring my knees in. Flex your feet. Hold on to your ankles. Chin to the ground. Inhale. Lift your chin, chest, and knees up. Are we using the same muscle groups, Radan?
Not as much because you're actually using your hands
Right.
to lock into your ankles.
Okay.
So really you're just using your legs a lot more, and then you're stretching out the front of the shoulder.
Yeah, and I feel the quad stretch in
Oh,
the
yeah.
front of my thighs. And the shoulders, too.
The shoulders
Okay,
get a
that's
big
good to
stretch.
know.
The legs are doing the work here, the front of the thigh.
Right. We also tend to rock back and forth and sideways as well. That gives a wonderful massage for the insides. This is a good chance because you have just the pelvic region down. Exhale and release. Now the next one looks really easy, but the trick is in the breathing.
They're the hardest ones.
No, that's the posture itself is not hard, but it's the breathing that we have to practice. So press with your palms, curl your toes in, chin to the ground, inhale, come up on all fours. So let's come up first. Very gently lower your elbows to the ground. This posture is called manduk or frog. So here's what we're doing. Your buttocks are higher than your chest and your chin. Clasp your palms together and we're going to do a little bit of an abdominal breathing exercise. You talk about working the abs. This time we're totally releasing the abs, so tightening and strengthening the abdominal muscles. Let's inhale through the belly. Take a deep breath in, count to 4. Exhale through the belly. As you exhale, you might feel your back arch a little bit. Once more, fill your belly with air. Inhale. Exhale through the belly. One more time. Inhale. And exhale. Now,
I could do this one for a long time.
I know, it feels good, right?
Yeah.
Now for my least favorite posture in the prone ones. Wow. Now this one doesn't have much muscular movement other than the abdominal muscles in the breathing. It's all in the breathing, but the reason we are on our arms and legs, knees and arms at that time, knees and elbows actually, is because it releases this part, the lower abdominal region. So otherwise in prone, you don't usually, this part doesn't come off the ground, so you don't get much of an exercise for the
Except for the next exercise.
The next one. Oh my God, you
yeah.
reminded me. Oh my God.
This one we're holding for 20 minutes.
No, that's my least favorite. Come up on your hands, first on your knees, and then curl your toes in. Inhale and lift your knees off of the floor. The plank position, admittedly not my favorite, and I think there's a good reason for it because
It's very
I'm
difficult.
in pain. Oh.
Well, you're holding half your body weight up on
what it
your
is?
arms and shoulders. So it's an intense...
So you need a lot of arm strength for this.
Well, this is almost like doing a push-up.
It is basically, right? And there are yoga schools that train you to go down. Oh
do
my God,
push-ups.
I really call them names then.
And that's why yoga is so great, because it's as much about strength
Right.
as it is about flexibility.
That's true. The other thing I find, Radan, if I go forward, my toes are curled in, so let's go forward, I actually find my weight distributes differently.
Yeah, you
It's
load
a
up the
little
upper
easy.
body. Well, I find
Right,
it a little
so-
bit harder in the upper body,
Is that right?
because
Okay.
it pushes the weight forward.
So it's not, and is it
I would
safe?
find it harder. It's safe.
It's safe.
The
Okay.
only consideration is that sometimes people will have their wrists and it hurts their wrists when they come forward too much because of the angle.
Okay.
So if you have your hands slightly in front of
So
your
it's
wrist,
not too much pressure.
it's not too much pressure.
Got it.
That's the only
Very
difference.
gently, let's lower the knees. I couldn't wait to say that. And let's come down on our back. The plank position, actually, it is literally, you use the right term. Literally, it's called a push-up. We call it plank or dandasana, but it is like the army push-up.
Yeah, all you're doing differently is lowering your body up and down.
Right. But the other thing it involves, and I totally forgot, but for those of you at home who are stretching with us, when you're in plank position, if you're really, really comfortable, you can take it to the next level by doing your abdominal breathing while you're in that position, because the lower abs...
It's all working in
Is
that
that what's
position.
working?
Absolutely.
And that's the time, if you use the abdominal muscles and you're using those same muscles to hold you up, you're really in control of your body. I think.
The other thing to watch out is that your back doesn't arch too much.
Yes, I think I felt my back arch a little bit. You probably saw it as
A
well.
little bit.
Yeah.
So it's a matter of just keeping your hips up in line with your shoulders.
How do you feel that?
I'll show you.
I mean, I could
It's
see it in
difficult.
you.
A lot of people
Can we-
get into this position and then they will drop through their lower back.
Right. Yeah, it does.
So the idea
Mine
is to
does.
lift up the hips a little bit and keep your hips in line with your shoulders.
Okay, that actually is good for weight distribution too, because
That's
when I
right.
drop lower my butt, I actually feel the strain on my back.
Yeah, so if you're feeling it in the lower back, chances are
Right.
you're in this position. So you just need to lift
That's
a little bit.
probably
But
what
it comes with practice.
Right.
Then you know where.
And it also comes with a kind of affinity for that posture. Since I keep saying I don't like it, it's not
That's
going
what
to
you
like
need to
me. Yeah, it's not going to like me. That's true. Let's come on our back.
Yeah.
We're going to lie down with our heads to the camera. Now extend your legs out. How are we doing for time? We don't have the cue yet, so we good?
Yeah, 5 minutes.
Oh, we do. We did get the cue. I'm going to take my fancy plastic glasses off. Extend your legs out in front of you. Keep your feet flexed. Hands up, your hands are going to go under your buttocks, palms facing down. So you're going to press with your buttocks, you're going to press on your palms. Feet are flexed. Inhale, engage. Is that the right term? Engage your lower abdominal muscles. Engage, right? Is that what
so
you
basically
use?
draw your belly button in towards your spine.
Draw your belly
Or
button. Oh, okay.
Imagine you're at the beach and you want to be
Right.
really skinny.
And you want everyone to see how skinny you are.
Yeah, that's the feeling. So suck in your belly button.
Suck in your belly.
Suck
Okay,
it in.
that's what it Inhale and lift your legs off of the floor. Now we're just at this level. This is Viparita Karani. Viparita is unique. Karani is inversion. So basically there's nothing unique about this inversion. It just means a unique posture. You're not on your feet. So you're not with your head up and your feet on the floor. It's the other way around. Now, here's what we're going to do. We're going to inhale, and this time use your hands to push your buttocks off of the floor. Keep inhaling, take your legs all the way overhead. Your legs do not have to touch the ground overhead. The idea is to just attempt that so your spine gets a beautiful release. Inhale and lift. Oh, I forgot.
Sometimes you need a little bit of a run up.
Oh, that's right, the shoulder stand, right? So you want to do the shoulder stand first and then go over. And I forgot to open up my clip in my hair. That's no excuse. This is my capacity anyway. But it might help. For those of you who've got some clips in your hair, take it out, you find it's less painful, that's all. Now, very gently, as you exhale, keep your hands under your buttocks and lower your buttocks very gently, very gracefully. Keep your shoulders and your head down. Do not lift your head off of the floor. And then before you bring your legs all the way down, place your palms on the inside of the soles of your feet and push your knees down out to the side. Radan, in this one, there is not much of a muscle group that I can talk of that I can help people understand. But what I find, it's amazing how comforting this posture is because my thighs, the upper thighs, press against the lower abdominal region. And I think for me it brings a lot of relief because I find that
and it's a lower back. It's a lower back release.
I want it. Okay, is that what it is?
It's like a forward bend.
Right. Okay.
Because you're pushing your knees in towards your chest.
Okay.
So imagine you were doing this facing the other way.
Like the frog, you mean?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. I see what you mean.
So it's a forward bend essentially.
It feels
which
good.
feels good. Yeah.
Yeah, it does.
All
and
forward
especially
bending
the hip
feels
region.
amazing.
Now, very gently, let's release this posture. Bring your legs all the way down and do it in slow, controlled motion. The posture we just came out of is called Happy Baby. And I deliberately did not say it before we got in because it'll have us in fits. So here's what the next posture is called, the fish posture, Matsyasana. Place both your palms once again under your buttocks. And your elbows are also very nice and as close to each other as possible. This time, instead of lifting the legs up, we're going to inhale, press with the elbows, peel your chest off of the floor, and keep your feet flexed. Inhale and lift. So your chest is off the floor, you're tilting back, and whoa, the world does look better upside down. Now, for those of you who want to take it a little further, inhale, engage your lower abdominal muscles. I don't know that, Radan, you got to correct me which muscle, but inhale, lift your legs.
Definitely abdominals in play.
Okay.
Yeah?
I need to strengthen my abdominal muscles so
You probably will feel it shaking a little bit.
Yes, it does. We do feel that. Exhale.
That's natural.
And release. Very gently, lower your head down. Chest is back on the floor. Take your palms off and let me look at my little, I think we just have two postures. We had the credits rolling, so we're doing well for time. The bridge posture. Bring your heels close to your buttocks. Now, in this posture, if you can keep your knees close, that's good. But if you cannot, you're still getting a good workout by keeping your knees apart. Place your palms under your buttocks. Inhale and bring your shoulders closer to each other under your back, under your upper back. Hold your buttocks up with your hands. Keep inhaling and take your hips all the way up. It's a bridge posture, Setu Bandha. Bandha is connection, Setu is getting there, like making the connection. And then if you want to go a little higher, support your buttocks and bring your heels further back. Yeah, just keep going closer.
So like with any back bend, it's
right.
You just need to feel how high you can go without it hurting your back.
Right. I know some yoga schools also train you to lift your buttocks without your hands and just clasp your hands under. But I find there's a lot of pressure on my knees when I do that. So for those of you who feel that there's too much pressure on the knees in this posture, use your hands to support your buttocks.
Or don't come quite as high.
Right, okay. We'll still get that workout then?
Definitely.
Exhale.
As soon as you lift your buttocks off the ground in this position, you're getting the workout.
And where exactly are we getting? We're getting a stretch for the back.
Stretch for the back, you're getting a strengthening in the back of the leg and the buttocks.
Right.
So as soon as you lift your hips up, that engages the back of the leg, a little bit of the front of the leg, the buttocks.
And the low back? Are we doing anything for the low back? No.
A little bit. The lower back's probably just more getting a bit of a stretch at the higher you come.
Right. So mostly for the buttocks and the back of the legs. Extend your left leg out in front of you. Keep the right knee in. Credits have rolled, so we've got about a minute, perfect timing. Place your left hand over your right knee. And if you have room at home, extend your right arm out. If you're a little tight for space, place your right hand on your right hip. And then push the right knee over to the left side. Turn to the right to look over your right shoulder.